Just moving over to the green stage, where it seems that they're all having a little chat. Guys, good afternoon. We're live on SMR TV, and I'm joined here, for those of you who don't know these people, very familiar faces. Chris Fanning, President and CEO of SI.
How you doing?
How are you doing? Ken Ostrom, you're the CEO of Confirm It.
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
Hello. We have Caroline with us from Lightspeed, of course, Global CEO.
Hi, nice to see you.
Caroline Frankham, nice to meet you. Gary, you're with us again, like last year.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon.
How are you doing? And Frédéric Petit of Tuluna.
Hi, nice to meet you again.
All right. And what we discovered, I've just explained to our viewers, three of you might remember very vividly, last year in New Orleans we had this quite heavy debate on the future of data collection and how we should move forward with this industry. And this year, it looks like things are different. You guys are huddled here nicely and cozy together along this little table. What brought you guys together, Chris?
Well, we're here for ESOMAR, and we just randomly and spontaneously gather to have this discussion today.
And what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about mobile and its impact on the industry.
Yeah, because I heard a rumor about a project being launched. What's happening?
Well, at SSI, we're doing a lot in mobile. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about mobile from these fine colleagues, but mobile is the future, and the question is how fast can research move to mobile without losing a lot of the success it's had in online and other modes of collection.
And what brings you guys together on this topic?
We're going to share some of the things that we're doing, maybe some of the challenges that we're facing commonly, and perhaps how we can do a good job on behalf of the industry.
All right, well, thanks a lot. Let's move over to Ken. Ken, why is mobile research such a hot and important topic for this industry?
It's a hot topic, and outside market research, you can see that mobile is the dominant channel of communication, especially what's happening in customer experience. You can see that PC sales is now less than mobile sales. Number of web pages uploaded on mobile devices and tablets are now higher than what you can see on traditional computers. So that just visualizes how fast the transition to mobile is going, and that will definitely be a challenge to businesses reliant on PCs only.
Exactly, and why would you guys actually need to talk about this together?
Well, first of all, we are a technology partner for the market research industry. So for us, it's very important to listen to any trends that are out in the market and work together with the entire industry to come up with new great solutions that will help them drive success.
And that is, I guess, what you guys bring to... Caroline Frankham, CEO of Lightspeed. What are you guys planning? What do you guys have in mind?
So we've got loads of great stuff going on, all of us together, but also particularly at Lightspeed, we've just launched our mobile app, which is called Life Points. And that's about fitting more seamlessly into people's lives because everyone's so time poor. So instead of asking them to do long surveys, we're engaging them with really dynamic content, gamification, and they're getting rewarded just to live their lives as opposed to stop and fill in long surveys. That's one thing. We're also really focusing our progress on programmatic. So how we can support the ad industry, and mobile will have a huge role to play in that as well. And we've got really cool, intelligent tools that we're developing, because I think the research industry gets a little bit hung up on long surveys and length of interview for mobile, but we know it's about the content experience. So we're focusing on how we can be bolder, faster, more creative, not just with the survey time, how quickly it loads, the gamification side of things. So it's the full holistic suite of how we engage people through what is actually now an implicit natural behavior, mobile.
So at mobile, we need to be quicker, it needs to be more fun and more engaging, yet we have these lengthy surveys because we need quality, right? And we need to be able to compare data. So how are we going to deal with that?
Well, that's our role. We still have to ensure. Our job is to connect our consumers, our clients, and our brands with the voice of the consumer. And quality doesn't stop just because you make it faster and quicker through mobile. Our job is to make sure we connect our clients with the best people that they really want to speak to. So that doesn't change for us.
And it doesn't matter. If it's shorter, you just adapt.
Shorter is actually more quality driven, arguably. For example, we've just launched a mobile survey in America on our new Life Points app, and in 24 hours we got 900 respondents, and we didn't even incentivize them.
Exactly. Wow, impressive results.
Indeed.
Impressive results.
Proud, yeah.
Now let me move over to Gary, because now first of all, it shows that all your companies are big technology partners and you're helping out all the market researchers, but you guys are here together. You're working on this together. However, you're also some of the biggest competitors in this world. How do you guys deal with that when you're chatting about mobile research?
But in this area, this is an area where we specifically have to work together. We can't do it alone as any one company. We have to do it collectively. And the reality is that what we do for each other is what we will do better for the rest of the industry and for our clients. And so our goal is to work together to find common ways to create a better mobile experience and to create better experiences on behalf of all of our customers collectively so that we can migrate to where consumers really are today. Today we probably have almost about 40% of our surveys are done on mobile, but that's not representative of what the natural internet really is. It's north of that, probably 55-60%. And in that regard, that's a big gap, and we have to close that gap so that we can have representative panelists and representative quality, as you referenced earlier. So, and that's super important for us.
And because I'm still kind of in the dark, I have you all here together, but what does this cooperation actually look like? What are you going to do together, or what are your ideas about doing together?
I think a lot of our ideas are how do we work and create some commonality in the industry so that our collective clients can take advantage of that. So what are the ideas and what are the things that we can do to work together with each other that then can become standards for the industry and they can embrace that and move forward in that regard.
All right, well that sounds already quite tangible. Let me do some line hooping over here. Yeah, there you go, Gary. Because Frederick, as I understand, at this moment, this is basically what this looks like, right? This is a chat over a cup of coffee saying, hey, we should get together and create these standards for mobile research. But what are the type of results we might be expecting from this cooperation?
I think we're already working one way or the other. We're cooperating. Martin Sorrell would say that some of us are frenemies.
Frenemies.
Yes,
let's coin that term here as Martin.
I think that colleagues, and I think that we have to advance the cause of this changing world in which we live. And I think that one thing that we should be careful about, and I say that, is that we need to focus into mobile. But clearly, it can't be our only obsession. Our obsession should be that we are in a world where there is multi-device, multi-dimensional consumer, and that we need to provide a single source view of the truth to our clients. So I think one of the mistakes that this industry has made has been that we focused into data collection mode rather than what is the input for our clients, whether they're research company, media agency, or end client. And I think that's mobile is, in a way, this focus into mobile is a symptom as well of the fact that we're here sitting in 2017 and we're chatting about mobile where people are on their app, they're going into the supermarket and they're being triangulated through passive metering. We can see now with some of our solution where they're going online in-app, what are they watching, what are they buying on Amazon. And I think that we should be not short-sighted of focusing and putting the burden of this dramatic change that needs to happen, is happening now in this industry, just on the people doing the data collection. It needs to be a collective initiative, not just by the people who are there, but by the research company. And it's very important because I think it's like tectonic, it's a tectonic shift. And what I see in the market, I'm sure that my colleagues here are seeing it, is that the end client, the corporation, are already embracing those changes. DIY, real-time, multi-mode, generation of insight. And mobile is encapsulating that in that conversation because we need speed. We need to be real time.
We need speed. Let me go all the way to back to Chris. Chris, yeah, this is going to work. Looks very professional. This, Chris, elaborate. Do you recognize what Frederick is saying, that the industry seems? Or you literally mentioned 2017, and here we are talking about mobile. You say the clients are ready, so who else do we need to accelerate this? You guys coming together, who else do we need?
I think it's the customers and us. It's look at supply and demand. So on one hand, you have customers out there, agencies, consulting firms, corporate customers who have a need to get as close to in the moment as possible. That's utopian research, right? To understand why people are doing what they're doing, to get beneath the why, and also to understand why people maybe aren't buying your goods or services and what you can do better in terms of providing them something that's more value add. Mobile enables it. It's the means, not the end. So you have to get out and tell the story and let people know that there's tools out there that they can use. It's like going to someone and giving them only a hammer. If that's all they've been presented, then they're only going to be banging things.
Yeah.
So it's our job to get out there and let people know what's possible. And then on the other hand, we have to do a better job from a technical standpoint. There's a lot of development that needs to get done. I think things move probably slower than any of us would like. That's a challenge and an opportunity for the industry. So it goes hand in hand, and I think we'll see how it all plays out in the next couple of years.
Exactly. Well, I see you nodding vividly when he talks about adopting new technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. So going forward, you need to have fully mobile optimized technology to drive this transition. You need to have.
We need to have. Is that technology already available to all of you?
At least I know parts of that technology is available. There is a constant development going on to drive further. But yeah, parts of that technology is available. So I would say that the current barrier to drive mobile research data collection is not technology as it sits right now. Obviously, so there's more needs on the technology side, but now it's more on the research side to drive that adoption. But I think as soon as the end clients can truly see the benefits of mobile, with the in-moment research where we can get that instant feedback, I think there will be a dramatic change.
Exactly. Well, and when we talk about new technology also obviously requires investment. Now, specifically in your line of business, I guess your pricing is very under pressure, right? It needs to be super cost effective. So how are you going to find the leverage to make these investments and speed up this change? Any plans, any ideas? Yeah, Fredrik, let me jump up to you.
I think that as for a very long time we've said that the market research industry, for us, it needs to be a technology industry. So if I go beyond the lip service, you have to act with your investment. So for instance, for a very long time, 10% of our staff is in engineering, research and development. So we have a center in Haifa in Israel. We have more than 100 engineers. So you have to make those investments and make a bet that through the automation and investment in automation, innovation, technology, you're going to be able to scale, which is, I think, from our standpoint, this is the right move. But you can't just say it's going to be a technology industry and believe that you're going to treat that like another vendor-client relationship, or you have to make that innovation happen through the brain of the engineer. And somehow, I think that in market research, there's been, the researcher, and now in market research, there needs to be a duo, the researcher and the engineer. And you need to make that work and infuse the intelligence of the researcher into the technology so that you automate, you make it DIY, real time, you bring the analytics. So you need to make those investments. I think that's critical for us, but I think for the rest of the industry.
I think the investments are almost self-funding. In and of itself, these are technology investments that help create more efficiency and effectiveness. The automation that we're creating, the programmatic activities that we're creating, all go to creating a frictionless experience for us as well as for the client and ultimately the end user. And that in and of itself pays for it because we can reduce the costs in the middle.
Exactly. Now, finally, you referenced briefly, we need to talk about standards for mobile research. What is the key, or what are some of the key areas or dilemmas that these standards need to govern? What in your current ideas and views, what are these standards governing? Anyone? Yes, Caroline.
So we have launched our new mission about discovering truth through data. So, there's the big GDPR initiative
coming up for the
right,
industry,
and that's going to set the standards for the globe eventually.
Let's tell, because we got some students watching who might not be familiar with GDPR. It's the Global Data Privacy Regulations, right?
Which is starting in EMEA first, and so next year it will be implemented throughout all EMEA industries, but it will start to set the standard for the rest of the globe. So all the PII regulations are changing, and so everyone's got to be really on board with that. So our job is still to ensure that we protect privacy in the right way, and so going back to the point about technology is huge for that. Look at the fastest growing brands in the world. That's Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook. They're all brands that use technology to make consumers' life easier, We've got to do that in research. We've been far too slow at that, but at the same time maintain the right standards around privacy. So I think we're being a little bit foolish by saying, it's all about mobile now. It's been about mobile for a long time. Research has been too slow to catch up with it.
Exactly.
And I was like, you mentioned Martin Sorrell. I was lucky enough to be at his strategy meeting last week, and we had Google there, and they said, you're too slow. The research industry is too slow. We're moving ahead of you. And our big problem we have to be very aware of is they have huge amounts of data. Amazon, Google, Alibaba. So we need to get ahead of the game with technology to make sure that we actually, help clients who are in a data-obese world now. The days of big data have gone over the edge, and our job is to make sure that we make sense of this data, but also ensure that we protect people's privacy as well. So it's easier said than done, but there's some good standards coming in place.
Exactly, and that's the answer. The key issue is the data privacy regulations coming up. This is the first hurdle to tackle.
I would say it's one of the hurdles. I think the key issue is we all need to be more data-driven and enabled by tech.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Caroline. Anything specific to add at the moment? Or otherwise, I'm just going to no longer interrupt your very nice and informal coffee. Thank you very much for sharing these ideas with you. And let's make a date. We meet up again next year on ASMR TV, and you guys give me an update of what's been going on in this area. And maybe by then your ideas have diverged in some other kind of area, so we can have a little more debate. All right?
Very good.
Enjoy Congress and enjoy the show. Thank you.